One of the most destructive emotions that we can experience in our lives is envy. Speaking from my own experiences, envy used to play a significant role in my life. It drove me to make rash and irrational decisions, such as abandoning work because I really wanted to go to this network marketing event in the US. And my job was preventing me from doing that, so I just quit. On top of a lot of other things with that particular job. Envy made me make some really dumb decisions because I was sold on the dreams that could be. It made me ask, why not me, a lot when I thought about visions of making it to the top and having millions of dollars.
Why me? Why?
It doesn't always have to be about you.
In the end, I'm just like most other people when it comes to envy. It's a naturally occurring thing. We covet other people's situations at times, and when they're clearly in better positions than we are.
It's over, Anakin! I have the high ground!
We even convince ourselves of future scenarios that our future selves could be in that make us want to take those actions. We like the idea and think, why not me? When it comes to those kinds of situations. All in all, envy is a big issue, and when looking at the self-help world to find solutions on how to mitigate envy or to be less envious of others, the only solution is to practice gratitude or to stop comparing yourself to others. Which, I mean, sure, that is one way that you can go about it. But I'm still going to be envious of people with bigger followings and are making more headway in life than I am. That's still not going to change it, and telling people to just not to stop feeling envy is just not very conducive of a growing atmosphere. So for now, let's talk about envy and how we can be less envious of other people. After all, we're stuck with this emotion no matter what, and we might as well try to take some responsibility for it and try to mitigate it or manage it a little bit better. But before we delve into that, I would really appreciate it if you left a like on this video and also could subscribe to this channel for more videos in the future. I would really appreciate trying to monetize this channel, and every little like and subscribe counts towards that. So let's talk about envy. To begin, envy becomes way more manageable when we know where it comes from, because the source of envy isn't always going to be our phones or social media. Yes, our phones are definitely a problem in this particular matter, but they are not the sole culprit here. For example, let's look at self-help as a whole. The go-to strategy for a lot of gurus is to point out how our lives and us suck, and that the real champions are particular people they admire or strategies they come up with.
Loser! You're a loser! Are you feeling sorry for yourself? Well,
they're not so blunt as that, but the idea here is a little bit of envy is used to propel us to do something to deal with the problem, even if the solution isn't of your best interest. It essentially creates a scapegoat for us to be envious of, and it works surprisingly well. Similarly, this is the same tactic that's used behind beauty products and perfumes, as well as high-end fashion. They create airs of sophistication in class that the middle and lower class don't have ready access to. My point is that envy deceives us, and the idea right now isn't to be frustrated about it, but rather to figure out where it's coming from and finding a better and healthier way to mitigate it. It could very well come from our phones, for sure, or from another space, as I've just mentioned. But the point is that you want to be figuring out where it is, so that way you're going to be able to deal with it in a much more healthier manner, rather than getting frustrated or angry or acting upon your just your raw instincts.
Good. Use your aggressive feelings, boy.
And what I mean by a healthier way, I mean through just having a better mindset about dealing with envy and emotions overall.
Let the hate flow through you.
Mindsets are everything in self-help, and they are a necessary tool in updating our philosophy and our perception of the world. This also works for our emotions and influence on us. When we change what that emotion means to us and what we use it for, our lives change as well. Just as anger and frustration can lead to us solving issues, albeit forcefully, envy can serve as a healthier motivation or even an appreciation of other people's lives and celebrating them with others. It can spark a sense of connectivity with that person that could grow into something more fruitful. And all of that can stem from how we see envy and how it's processed. A good example of managing envy is my journey in being a content creator. I don't talk much about it, but I used to have a gaming channel when I first started out. I was uploading videos like crazy under the assumption that the more videos meant more views and higher subscription counts. Little did I know that you have to have good editing, a captivating thumbnail, and most of all, be entertaining or interesting.
That's rough, buddy.
Not to mention engaging as well. As I can tell you, teenage Eric was bored as shit in those recordings. But obviously, that channel stopped, and I gave up, and most of that was to do with the fact that I wasn't doing any of those things. But on top of that, envy also sunk in, where I started obsessing about the algorithm, and I started caring more and more about the stats, about the views, about the likes and comments and everything else like that. And I forgot about why I started this channel in the first place, why I was going to play some games and show that off to the world. And the reason I'm back at it once more right now with this particular channel is that I have a much different attitude to this. I no longer get envious of other channels. I'm just doing my own thing and seeing where that takes me.
When life gets you down, you know what you gotta do?
I don't want to know what you gotta do.
Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, swimming, swimming. What?
And that whole transition stemmed from me looking at my envy and reframing it and processing it in a much different way. These days, I don't get bothered so much by the stats because I'm more focused on just doing things more consistently. I have adopted a sort of mantra in a similar way to when I first started writing.
We swim, swim.
Dorino singing.
I love to swim in.
All that really mattered to me was that I did the thing that I was supposed to do. And in terms of the actual stats, I represented that by telling myself, all that you care about is getting a single view on a piece of your work. And I still apply that sort of philosophy to my writing, which is why I don't get so wrapped up about my stats, even though I know my stats are all not that great. Setting aside needing to do that exact same philosophy with this channel because I know my upload schedule is very spotty right now. My point is that setting a laughably low bar for yourself on a particular thing is a sneaky method in getting yourself to commit to something. From a creative perspective, the only way you're going to get that one view on an article or a video or a piece of artwork is to make the damn thing. The only way that you're going to be able to grow your business in the first place or improve any relationship is that you're showing up, that you're doing the absolute bare minimum. And that is just one way to mitigate envy, because when you know that you're successful because you're doing that thing, you're going to be able to build up your momentum and start doing more of that and building up a habit and being more consistent and getting to that point where you do actually realize that you're elevating your life and improving it, and that you don't need to be envious of other people.
Yes! That's awesome!
Another alternative to all of that is to be changing how you approach that envious source in the first place. Similar to changing your mindset, this focuses more on just the vibes and less on a specific action or attitude.
Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
A prime example of this is how self-help gurus tend to focus on specific problems and make a big deal about them. Absolutely, there are certain areas that we should be focusing on, and there are areas that are worth focusing on. Our lives are all very nuanced, and some problems are more significant problems in our lives than others. And it all varies depending on where you are in your life. That, and some gurus don't always understand that some problems aren't really big problems to deal with right this moment. Some don't entertain the fact that one way to mitigate some of your problems is just changing your attitude towards it. Being okay with carrying that perceived flaw and not making any kind of effort to it because it's not really affecting you that much.
Hey, I've been turned into a cow. Can I go home?
You're excused. Anyone else?
No, we're good. We're good.
The alternative is simply that. Looking at problems from different perspectives that speak to you rather than the opinion of others. Doing this in turn changes how you view issues and solutions that follow. For example, there is this idea that you need to be a multi-millionaire by your 30s, and anything less than that means that you suck, that you're a failure of a human being. But when looking at people who actually have made that and lived up to that thing, you would recognize a lot of people did some really messed up stuff.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
Like the Forbes 30 under 30 list has a lot of felons or people in prison these days. It leads me to believe that becoming extremely wealthy requires you to do a lot of messed up stuff, to do a lot of harm to people, and less good. And judging by Elon Musk's drug addiction lifestyle, you've got to also screw yourself up real bad as well. My point is, when it comes to envy, shifting the vibes can lead to indifference or looking at something with more nuance and context. It's expanding your scope, similar to changing your mindset. And it can change how you approach and see something. You can look at someone outperforming you in an area and use that as a means of mimicking their techniques or drawing inspiration from it.
Yoink!
Yoink!
I personally came back to posting on YouTube after watching a particular YouTuber and liking her editing style. I felt like introducing that in a self-help kind of context could add a twist to the usual inspirational content that the self-help industry is known for and what a lot of channels try to use. Mixing things up is a really good way of distinguishing your channel from everyone else. Beyond that, envy can also lead to you being taken under the person's wing and being mentored directly as well. Unlike diseases, emotions tend to be processed easier the more that you experience them. For sure, some won't be getting any easier, and we don't want to experience them. However, I'm of the mind that we can learn over time how to mitigate some of the damages that negative emotions give us. We can learn to process them in healthier ways the more we understand them and where they are coming from. The more we do this, the more we can learn how to deal with them and push back against them. In the case of envy, the end goal is to turn envy into a spark of motivation. To look at other people's lives, pick out things we think are cool, and to aspire to be like them to some degree. We might not be the greatest at it at first, but the aspiration can be the spark to building up a habit and a stronger and healthier mindset. And that can make all the difference. Thank you guys so much for watching the entirety of this video. Don't forget to leave a like on this video and also to subscribe to this channel for more videos like this in the future.